we put this question out, and I'm glad somebody responded, because I know, having run the Rutgers program for a number of years, it invariably would come up. Oh, unexpectedly, my manager left the company, or they got promoted to a different department, my preceptor's gone, what do I do? And maybe Jeff encountered that, I don't know.
Yeah, so I was going to jump into the biggest obstacle question, but I thought I'd cover it under this, because my first preceptor, and mind you, I said first preceptor, recommended that I read the book Who Moved My Cheese, and it's just as part of my development program. I'm sure a lot of you have read it, but if you haven't, it's a short read, but I'm going to save you 45 minutes and tell you what it was all about. Things change and learn to adapt. I don't know if this was just something that she had planned on having me read, but this happened literally right before she decided to take a promotion and move to a different role and no longer serve as my preceptor. So I'm on to Preceptor 3 now, actually, in 5 months. It's not as bad as it sounds. I didn't run them all out of town, but
Nice.
The second one, actually, his travel schedule really didn't allow for him to be my preceptor. It just wasn't going to work out, and after a couple of weeks, it was determined that I was going to change again. So in terms of the transitions to preceptors, the third preceptor, the one that I'm currently have now, it really took a few weeks just for her to kind of get on board with things. And it's just like any other relationship. Where you're trying to establish that there's going to be difficulties and you have to be a bit patient. But just to start off, I didn't want to just clobber her with all the information and everything I was doing. So we just spent some time. We set up a one-on-one and really just got to know each other a little better. Also, just went over some just early expectations. From there, we just worked through some of the just basic functions, and I really wanted to help her with some of the tasks that she was receiving at first. So just things that she might receive by email and not be familiar with, I would kind of take those off her plate, just let her be as comfortable as possible when she was starting this new role. And then we moved into more detailed description of what kind of I was doing, so she'd have a sense of what I was doing and not just be curious. So we went over just basic functions and then some just high-level tactical overview of kind of the decisions that I was walking through at that time. Some things that I really learned from this experience is that it's important to balance with knowing what to do and where to get information from. I think at first I really tried to almost pretend like I was an expert, and I was like 3 months into my fellowship, so clearly not. So instead of just pretending like you know it all, it was, and I mean, obviously we want to appear like a valuable asset, but having that balance of where to know to go get your questions answered was really important in just building trust and rapport.